Hello everyone. I am making this to hopefully get a point across. I know the first thing that probably y'all are going to say, whoever's watching this, is you're going to think, well, this was ridiculous and this was dumb and why are you wasting your time and all that type of thing. But yet a large segment of our society and a large populace that's going around, things going through it around the world today is getting to the point where it's just ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous because people are being labeled, they're stereotyped, they're put into groups with others when they're not in those groups. They do not fit in with that. And so hopefully as maybe as asinine as this may be, maybe as superficial, well, I know it's superficial. What I want to touch on, every bit of this is superficial. But at the same time, if you're easily offended by just anything point blank, blunt to the point, then your best bet is probably not to listen to any more of this video. Because I'm subject to make people mad with what I want to say, and that is not my intention, but at the same time, truth is truth. Alright. So, here's what happened. Earlier today, I am always on Facebook, it seems. It seems like I spend a large majority of my time on Facebook. A lot of that may be changing pretty soon. A lot of things in my life seem to be changing step by step by step here lately, and praise God for that. At the same time, I go on MSN a good bit, and I see a lot of their posts, and one caught my attention today. And I'm not even really sure why it caught my attention, because usually something like this, I would just overlook it. I wouldn't even pay any, I wouldn't even give it the time of the day. But for some reason, it caught my eye. And basically what this headline was about, of course you had to click on the link to take you to the page. It was sharing 10 things that women will never be able to change about a man. So I was curious. I was like, all right, what are those things that I have about me that are not subject to be changed? That got me to thinking. So I went on it and I started reading it. Well, the more I read, the more angry I got. And being the person that I am, I decided to copy and paste it. And I put it on WordPad. And I shared it to my wall, and so I have it pulled up on my computer here. So I'm going to read each one of these points, and then I'm going to elaborate a little bit on them. And like I said, this is, I don't know what this is. I'll let you be the judge of this. You be the judge of this for yourself. Now, I'm putting me solely. I'm not talking about any other man on the face of God's green earth. I'm talking about me. And the reason I'm talking about me is because according to this pertains to me. So I'm going to talk about me in the realm of what they're saying. Number one, go team! Exclamation mark. There's very little that will ever come between a man and the unbridled passion he feels for his favorite team. He will sneak out during your friend's wedding to check the score, and he will be depressed when they lose, no matter what you do to cheer him up. You are not going to beat him on this, so you may just want to join him. That is a pile of garbage from the pit of hell. Have I ever watched sports? Yes, I've watched sports plenty of times. Do I like sports? Yes, there's things that I like. But do sports take precedence in my life to where I'm going to be depressed when a team loses a game or somebody loses a race that I'm watching or something like that? No, it's not an idol. My Lord, it's just worldly vanity is all it is. You know, this garbage about how you're going to sneak out of your friend's wedding. If I'm going to be at somebody's wedding to begin with, then that's what I'm there for. If all I care about is the game, then I'm not going to go to the wedding. I'm going to watch the game. I mean, this stuff is just so dumb. It's so ludicrous. It's so ridiculous. It's aggravating to know that the average woman will look at me and think this. Now, I didn't say all women. I'm sure there's women out there that wouldn't. But this was going according to their studies of what the average woman thinks. And the average woman, the way the man appears to be to them. Let's look at number 2. Come clean. You're probably never going to convince him that the blankets must be pulled taut when making the bed, or that closets should only have one kind of hanger. But if you can at least both agree that clean means not dirty, you should be able to cohabit in peace. What is wrong with these people? Do they have nothing to do except sit around and come up with garbage like that? Is their mentality so immature and so childish that they're going to come up with something like this? I've never heard of such garbage in my life. I read this and I was like, what in the world? Yeah, you're right. I don't care about a hanger. Who cares about a hanger? But that ain't got nothing to do with me being a man. I don't hear women running around saying, oh, I got to have a certain color hanger and a certain type of hanger to hang some clothes on to put in my closet. That's just stupid. And if you're doing that, that's your business. But at the same time, I'm here to tell you, what's the point? How does that help anything? How does that help you? How does that help life? How does that help him? We're supposed to be here to lift him up to begin with. Okay? All right. Number 3. Oh, boy. Number 3. Y'all are not going to like this one. Drink up. Second to sports and you, of course, beer may just be his favorite thing in life. So let him enjoy his pint of barrel-aged lager and do not force your own preference for wine on him. My God, if that ain't at the pit of hell, then I don't know what is. I do not drink beer. I do not drink wine. I do not drink anything that has any kind of fermentation or alcoholic content to it. And I got news for you. Jesus Christ never did either. And if you are someone that reads the Bible and you think because you see the word wine, that means that Jesus drank this garbage, then you need to seek the Lord. You need to get into the Word and let the Word get into you. You need the Holy Spirit to reveal unto you what the truth of the matter is. I'm not going into what all that means. If you want to know, you can message me and I'll be glad to tell you. But Lord, think for yourself for a change. Study to show yourself approved. Quit relying on man to tell you everything and learn for yourself for a change. But this is so disgusting to me. The people on this earth have went mad for alcohol. They could care less if the whole earth blowed up. They could care less if every child is ever aborted. They could care less if men are having sex with men and women are having sex with women. They don't care about that as long as they have their drink. Let them have their drink. Boy, that's all it's about. It's one big party. Ain't it amazing that's what Jesus said would be going on right before he returned? That men would not be paying attention. Oh boy, that it would just be one big party. My Lord, help us. I'm telling you, people, you better get your eyes where your eyes need to be. And I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about your spiritual eyes. I got to scroll down here just one second. Forgive me. Number 4. Sock it to me. You may be able to get a man to upgrade his shoes, but trying to get a guy to really care about his socks is another story. We have found that most men do not worry too much about their socks matching. As long as they're the same color, it's close enough, so be it. If you are walking around worried about your socks, then my Lord, what is wrong with you? I mean, literally, think about it. What is wrong with you? There's got to be something wrong. A person that's normal, they don't worry about their socks. With all the things going on in life, you're going to be worried about the color of your socks? I don't get it. And if you get it, please explain it to me. Try to help me understand where you're coming from with that. I don't understand it at all. And it's just, hang on, where did it say? You may be able to get a man to upgrade his shoes. What is that talking about? Upgrade your shoes. Jesus Christ walked around with sandals on his feet. Most of the men back then didn't even have stuff like that. They walked around barefooted. If it was good enough for them, then who am I to complain or argue or fuss about what the shoes that you have? My Lord, there's plenty of people on this face of the earth that would give anything to have that broken down piece of junk shoes that you're fixing to throw in the trash right now so you can go buy you another $200 pair. We need to get our priorities in line. Our perspective is so off. We are living in the last days, people, and if you can't see it, my Lord, I urge you to get on your knees before him and pray and ask him to open your eyes. Number 5, mommy dearest. Good or bad, his relationship with his mom is what it is. You may be able to do a little bit here and there, like, say, convincing him to ask her to call call before just stopping by. But it's unlikely you'll ever affect any real change in this area. All right, here we go. My. To begin with, the Bible clearly says that when a man marries, that he is to leave his parents or parent, if one's deceased or gone on to be with the Lord, however you want to say that, all right, that he is to leave, that he shall cleave unto his wife, and the two shall become one. That is his priority then. All right. Now, I got several things to say about this. To begin with, do I love my mama? Yes, I do. I love my mom with all my heart, and nothing's ever going to change that. My mom was a godly woman. She raised me up in the correct way. She's done everything and anything that she could. She's went above and beyond for me, more than a lot of women do for their children. And I have a strong bond. I have a strong connection to my mom. But at the same time, my mom's not my idol. I worship him. Okay? This thing of grown men thinking that once they're married, that they have to run back to mama to find out everything and get mama involved in the relationship, these men are crazy. These men they're not thinking right. They do not, and I guarantee you what's going on is that they don't want to have to face the responsibility themselves. They have grown in the comfort of knowing, well, mama will do this for me, mama will do that for me, mama will do this and that, and on and on and on and on and on. Well, there comes a time, okay? Different people, different times, different situations. I get the picture. I'm not labeling people here. And it's all right for the man to always have a good, strong connection to his mom. He should. He should have a strong connection to his mother. My Lord. The woman gave him life in those regards, earthly. But at the same time, people are taking this stuff in there just like they do with the Bible. They're twisting things. They're taking it out of context. They're adding this and adding that, and taking this out, and they're mixing it in and having a hodgepodge and an amalgamation of a pile of crap is what it's boiled down to. Number 6, just look away. File this one under nobody's perfect. Every guy has one gross out habit. And hopefully only one. Whether it's picking his toenails, spitting when he runs because he has to, he will tell you. As long as it's not harmful to his health or yours, permit him this single indiscretion, and you'll spare yourself plenty of futile nagging. Did y'all just hear what I read? I mean, am I the only one getting this here? Are these people, whoever wrote this up, so superficial and so ignorant? To begin with, I got news for whoever wrote this up. It's not every guy, but it's every guy and every girl, every male and every female. And it's not just one technically, quote-unquote, gross-out habit. We all have tons of things about us that are gross. To begin with, the grossest of the gross is sin. It's gross to him, and if it's gross to him, then it should be gross to us. Would you not agree? But see, we get caught up in all these stupid little things that, what's it matter about someone's toenail? I mean, what's that got to do with anything? I mean, I don't get it. I really do not get it. And you'll probably hear me say that 50,000 more times before I get through this video, because I'm just baffled by the mindset that's working here. The logic that's being implicated. And the thing is, they're trying to make it sound like that I'm like this. Well, I got news for you. I'm not. I'm not like these things that I'm reading to you. And do I have gross out habits? I guess. I mean, I sin. Like I said, that's a gross out habit. Yeah, I commit sins. There's no telling what I do. There's no telling, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think about it. We all have little things about us. Maybe sitting there scratching my ear all the time or something. Maybe that's gross to somebody. I was just reading a thing the other day that just baffled me. They had this panel of women on there talking about that any man that didn't shave the hair off his body was gross and disgusting. And that any man that didn't have a dark tan and didn't have a ripped body with muscles where he'd been working out for years was not fit for them. Well, if those type of women, is what's going to start controlling the mindset of the people in this world, female-wise, then this human race is going to go extinct pretty fast. It's not going to take long, because I got news for them. All these male models out here that's doing all that stuff where they don't have no hair on their body and they're dark tan and they got muscles and all that stuff, okay, those people are getting paid to do what they do. And you know this, I'm sure. I'm not preaching to anyone that's ignorant of that fact. I'm sure you know that. But it's ignorant. It's ignorant who's coming up with this garbage. Let me move this down a little bit further. Number 7, on the road. Do not suggest a faster route or route, however you would like to say that, when he is driving. Do not offer the lanes clear if you would like to get over, dear. Do not tell him he can make the light. As long as he's obeying the law, then the way he drives is the way he drives, and that's a two-way street. When you're at the wheel, he should keep quiet for you. What? I don't care who's sitting with me in the car. If I'm driving and it's clear and I can get over to go around someone, then hey, praise the Lord. Tell me it's clear if I can't see for myself. Let me know. Who come up with this? That's like there's another thing that goes right along with this. That old adage that a man will not ask for directions. Well, any man that will not ask for directions is stubborn and prideful and stupid in my book. Just to be honest with you. How in the world can you ever get anywhere doing anything in this life? That's like when you go buy a product. My dad was the world's worst at this, and I would sit around laughing at him, and he would get so mad at me for laughing. But he would buy something, not know how to put it together, and it'd have the instruction booklet right there, but he would throw the instruction booklet in the trash because he knew it all. I mean, my Lord, is that not dumb? You better believe I'm going to ask directions. If I'm going somewhere and I miss the turn or whatever it is, and I'm not sure of the direction, I mean, as far as the area where I'm in, you better believe I'll stop at the first service station, I'll roll down my window and ask the first person I see, whatever. I don't care how many people I have to ask, if I have to scream it from the mountaintops. I don't get it. Do not suggest a faster route when he's driving. Why not? Does this make any sense? It doesn't to me. I mean, if I'm going from point A to point B and the route that I have figured up is going to be an hour and a half, and the person I'm with can get me there in an hour, why do I want to spend an extra 30 minutes burning out gas and riding around for no good reason? I don't get it. I really don't. Number 8, pet project. A person's pet preferences are pretty much set by young adulthood, which is a lie. So whether he's a cat person or a dog person or none of the above is essentially out of your hands. While he may learn to tolerate Mr. Bigglesworth, whatever that is, he will never love him the way that you do. Accept it. Do I even need to say anything about that? I'm not even going to say anything about that one. Let's move on. Number 9, family matters. Not to compare your family to pets, but the situation here is very similar. My, oh my. How in the world are you going to put people and animals in the same boat? I'm not talking about Noah. He may never love your relatives, but as long as he makes an appropriate effort, then you've got no beef with him. All right. I don't care who I'm around, what I'm doing, where I'm at, or anything else. I'm going to show people respect. I'm going to show people kindness. I'm going to care about those people. Yes, and you better believe it. Jesus commanded me to love people. And not just love those that love me, but love those who do not love me. I have heard, growing up, I've heard this stuff. I'm so sick of hearing it. About how the in-laws are, the problem here and all this type of thing, Well, guess what? The married couple can put their foot down. The married couple does not owe the in-laws anything other than love. Show those people love. Witness to them about Christ. Nowhere in the entire Word of God does it say that you have to talk to them about anything but Him. If you have a problem going on with in-laws in your life, then you can fix it. Quit complaining about it and fix it. My Lord, that's what people want to do, though. They want to complain and argue and bicker and just go on through life. See, that's what's going on with all this stuff, politics. That's a good example. The government, Barack Obama, and all his problems. Isn't it amazing that America, oh, y'all are going to really hate me for saying this probably, but America will sit back on their butts and not stand together for anything. I'm talking about anything. Pick it. We will not stand together for one thing, but boy, we can run our mouths and put that man down and complain about him all day long, can't we? But then when someone comes up with an idea about doing something, where's everybody at? Oh, I ain't got time to do that. I'm busy. I have a life to live. I got this going on. You can't expect me to do this. You can't expect me to do that. Who are you to try to tell me how to live? If that's not Satan, then what is it? I mean, this is disgusting. I don't know when it'll be in my life, how long down the road it'll be. But the day when I get married, I can tell you this right now, I'm going to love my in-laws. Whoever my wife's parents are and her family or whatever, I'm going to love those people. I'm going to show those people love. And if they have a problem with me and they don't want to get along with me, that's between them and the Lord. I can't do anything about that. But that doesn't stop me from being the man that I need to be for Christ, does it? Number 10, talk to me. Yes, you want a partner who's willing to share his feelings, but do not expect a miracle if you are with a man who is on the more reticent side or quiet. A 2013 study found that women naturally have more FOXP2, whatever that is, the language protein, in their brains, which makes them chattier. So in other words, what they're saying is they've done a study and found out that women run their mouths more than men. Well, I could have told people that, and that ain't me being male chauvinist. That's just the truth of the matter. Women do talk on average more than men because women do like to talk more than men. Hooray, hoorah, who cares? God created that way. Praise the Lord for it. Go on. Communication is key in any relationship. I don't care what it is, whether it's between us and him, if it's our family, mother to son, father to daughter, sister to sister, brother to brother. If it's just close friends, go to high school with or whoever. If it's your mate, husband, wife, it doesn't matter. The point is communication is so key. See, God gave people a lot of gifts, and He helps us with many things. But one thing that we can't do, among many that we can't, but one of those things is we are not adapted with the ability to read another person's mind. People want to get in arguments with one another. I hear this all the time. Talking about especially marriages. Well, so-and-so got mad and they jumped in their vehicle and they took off. Now, how is that helping anything? Think about that for a second. How is that helping anything at all? See, people do not want God to have reign over their lives. They do not want Him to be in control. They want that illusion of control in their life. They love that pride. Satan has deceived well, has he not? And sadly, what's going on now is do you know that the divorce rate is higher within the church? The church, not a church building, the church. Divorce rate is higher in the church than it is in the world. That ought to be a wake-up call. And there's many, many, many things that people use to say, well, I'll give you some examples. They'll say, well, the reason we end up divorced is over money. If that is not the most disgusting thing. So basically what you're saying is, well, money was your God, and that's your idol, and you worship that money. So you allowed that money to destroy what God put together. I mean, let's just be blunt about it. If we're going to call a spade, let's be that way. And there's many things, but 99.99999% of it could be settled if that couple would just take the time to sit down together and in love pray about it, seek the Lord's will, and talk openly with one another. And when the wife is talking, the husband doesn't. And when the husband's talking, the wife doesn't. Man, what an amazing concept that is. I should get the Nobel Peace Prize. What do you think? You think that maybe I can win it this year for coming up with such great logic there? Since I know nobody else has ever thought of that before. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. All right. That's it for this. So, if you want to go back and review these things, I'm just here to say, I am a man, 100%. I guarantee you, I was born a male. I'm a male. I'll always be a male in this life. And this is a pile of garbage. So if any women watch this video, wherever you are, whoever you are, if you watch this, I can tell you right now that these crazy things that this so-called panel of women come up with, those, I don't know if they're strung out on some kind of drugs or what their problems are, but that does not apply to every man. All right? I'm a man. Okay? So you can just let it sink way down in your spirit, and maybe that'll help you. Or maybe not.